So, Melissa, you've been training animals for over 25 years, which is a long time. What drew you to specialize in cats? And obviously, you guys caught my eye with having Tonic. I went to see Caught Stealing, which, by the way, was amazing. Such a great movie. But for me, Tonic stole the show. I'm not even kidding. Like, I know people have said that, but I could not believe how intelligent he was and how smart and just on cue, everything like that. How did you discover him? I heard that is it true that he was a stray cat or he didn't have a home, right?
Yeah, he was a stray. I got him out of a rescue, specifically for Pet Cemetery. I was looking for doubles.
Mm-hmm.
And when I agreed to do Pet Cemetery, I said, I'll do it, but I want to keep the best cat. Like that, or, like they're all great, but I wanted to keep the strongest working cat.
Contender, yeah.
I knew that was Tonic right away. Yeah, and I started off with a dog training school, and I still to this day do family pet consultations for fear and reactivity and things like that, which actually ties into film and training cats because it's a weird environment. You have to know how to build up their confidence and help them feel safe, and that's basically what I started doing. And then I started a trick show just for fun because I enjoy teaching tricks. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have a trick cat? Because there's no trained cats. I just wanted the challenge.
Right.
Took me a really long time to figure out the first cat because they're very hard to train.
Wow, I didn't know that. I would have thought they'd be very smart and easy to train because they're so like smart. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's very few cat trainers. I think it's becoming more popular training your cat, but and it is a little easier at home. Getting them to work in new environments too is extremely challenging. But yeah, no, there's not a lot of performance cats in the world. There's only maybe five that I know of, five groups.
The most famous one I remember off the top of my head now, before seeing Tonic, was Jinxie Cat in Meet the Parent.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very cute. Yeah, he was pretty cute. What stood out with Tonic when you first saw him? Like, was he timid? Was he scared because he hadn't been like around people, or he had? And that's
Uh,
so funny.
um, right away, I knew that he was the one because he came in really confident. Like,
Really?
yeah, in a new space, he just walked out like he owned the space, and he was accepting food right away. Because sometimes, like, cats are not as food motivated as dogs. So, but he wasn't like that everywhere. He wasn't. It was just in my training room. I had to build his confidence outside.
Hmm.
But right away, I knew he was a special cat.
Oh, so adorable. Um, he was found in Ontario, obviously. What
Yeah.
about his background? Did you know much about his background? Obviously, you didn't because he was a stray, but how did he transition? Like, how quick did it take for him to be a stray cat to being a film star, basically?
It was 2 months of training, and in 2 months he was really strong. I mean, it was hard to get him all cats to focus outside,
Mhm.
but at the end of the 2 months, he was pretty good. Now he's exceptional.
Oh, he's so
Yeah.
adorable. He's so cute. We used to have a cat in Australia, very similar to him, a tabby, and his name was Toby, and he was
Yeah.
fluffy and everything like him, very cute.
That was the original intent is to find a cat that people have, one that looks like a cat that people could have for pets.
Yes. Yeah, that's clever. That's smart. Training a cat for film requires patience and precision, obviously, as we discussed. Could you walk us through your training process for, say, Tonic, especially for a role like Bud in Caught Stealing? And how did he get along at first with his co-stars Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz?
Yeah.
And Big Bunny, obviously. Bad
Yeah.
Bunny. I keep saying Big Bunny. It's Bad Bunny. Yeah.
The first thing that we do is we look at the behaviors and make sure that it's right for the cat. Um, and then make sure that it's a fit. I had three cats at the time. I now have five. And Tonic is Tonic is the strongest at film behavior. I do have one that's stronger at tricks and confidence. Um, but I knew it was for him. I actually thought when I looked at it, I thought, wow, they're looking for Tonic. I don't think that there's a lot of cats that could pull this off. And it wasn't just the training, the environments were, you'd have to have a really extremely confident cat that had a lot of exposure to crazy environments that cats don't normally get exposure to. And so I looked at the script, I knew it was for him. And then I break it down and I start, well, then we audition. We went to New York to audition, which was great. I thought, oh, perfect. When we go to New York, they get to see him in person and how magnificent he is. And then we start prep training here. So in Canada. So we have 2 months of training here. And then we go to New York and we actually practice on the sets for 2 weeks
That's
and
so
on the
cool.
location.
And what was their like for the audition process? What was their reaction when they first saw him, and what was Zoe and Austin's reaction when he was on set with them? Like, did they just die? I would have died. How cute he is.
Yeah, when we got to New York, it was it was interesting because I got on a plane and I flew from London. That's like a 6 or 7 hour process. And I feed him the entire time to make sure that he has to enjoy every step of the way because if cats aren't enjoying themselves, they won't do it. You can't force a cat. You know, they have to, it has to be fun for them.
Hmm.
So I went on the plane and it was 6 or 7 hours on a plane of feeding him and then a ride to the office with Darren and the producers. And I said, you're gonna meet him. I can show you some things. Just know that this isn't him at his best because of the travel, because he's already full. But I have his favorite treat, so I've been saving it for when you'd like to see something, and he always makes room in his time for his favorite treat. So yeah, they wanted to see him walk around. And then when it came time to perform, he performed beautifully. And
Wow.
then he got on the plane and we went right home. And my cats are playing. Hey,
I
Jimmy.
see their little caravan in the background, like a mini caravan. That's
That's their
really cute.
trailer. That's their little movie
So
trailer.
cute.
Oh,
That's adorable. Wow. This is one of my favorite interviews, honestly, because there's so many beautiful cats. Director Darren Aronofsky praised Tonic as a scene stealer, obviously, and credited you as an animal whisperer. How do you foster such a strong bond and understanding with the animals? I think we've already discussed that as well with treats, how their frame of mind, keeping them happy, that type of thing. Yeah.
so I use science-based training, and anything that I ever thought that I had come up with, I only later realized that it's been around for decades and there was a name to it already, because we all come to the same conclusion of what works.
Mm-hmm.
And so the science-based training that I use, is operant conditioning, classical conditioning, applied behavior analysis. It's all out there. The information is all out there. But to put it simply, in order to get an animal to perform, the biggest thing that I do is I teach them that they are a partner. They can consent. They can say no. They're going to get paid, and that they have control and autonomy. And people miss. This is the thing that this is a really important message for people to understand about animals, is that we have a misconception that we should be in control. But when somebody tries to control you, you push against it and you don't give your best. When you are in control and taught how to perform and paid, then it's much more fun. You feel much safer. Your head is clearer, and that's exactly how I did it. I taught them that I taught Tonic that what was going to happen, but that it was an opportunity for a reinforcement, not something that he had to do.
Okay, nice. That's very good advice for other people listening to this for sure. In Caught Stealing, Tonic's character Bud plays a pivotal role in the storyline. How do you ensure a cat's performance resonates emotionally with the audience?
Yeah, I mean, at first I was hoping that people would see the level of complexity and the incredible performance that he brought, and I'm excited that people are seeing it, that it would come across.
Hmm.
I think a lot of it boils down to connecting the right animal to the role. Tonic
Okay.
has brilliant, expressive eyes. There's intelligence in there, and you could see that he is working it out and he's engaged. His eye line is to Austin or Zoe. He's in it with them. And I heard Austin call him present. And I thought that is a really big compliment because he was in it with him. And I also teach emotions by teaching different body positions in animals. So what would the body position look like if the cat was this, or scared or happy or whatever the case, right? Can we get him to cock his head? Things like that.
So
No.
cute. Well, he was amazing, and especially his appearance on the red carpet for the movie premiere in that little car. That was so cute.
I know.
Absolutely adorable. And the jacket with the studs. I'm like, I'm done. This is so cute.
Right?
It's so adorable. You've worked with various animals, including dogs and cats, obviously. How does training a cat differ from training other animals, and what unique challenges does it present? Also, what do you look for when it comes to adding more potential pet actors to train? There has to be a special personality trait, I guess they have to have, right? For you to.
Yeah. I cats are significantly more challenging. And it's at home, it's a little easier to train a cat. In a public space, it's very challenging for a cat to feel safe. It takes it takes a lot of skill and experience to manage them in a way that gets them to feel safe. Yeah, I think it's because cats are not built the same way. They're not looking for food from us. They can hunt their own food.
Hmm. Absolutely. That's their trait, being little hunters for sure.
Don't need us.
Um, Tonic's appeared in several films, including, as we discussed, Pet Cemetery and Thanksgiving. How do you prepare him for different roles, especially when transitioning between genres like horror and crime, like very edgy?
Yeah, a lot of the foundations are the same, like hitting a mark, stay, eye lines. The experiences that he's going to see is what varies. So if he's in all the horror genre, the conversations are intense. There's emotions involved. We have to replicate that in prep. So when he was on the red carpet, there was a fender bender, and they got out and they started yelling at each other, like in New York style yelling.
I can
And
imagine.
our handler says, "Is he okay with that?" I said, "Oh, he probably thinks they're doing a scene because we practice that sort of thing, right?"
Yeah,
So
interesting.
so he would associate that with food, and it would be normalized, and then he would know that he would be safe. So a lot of it has to do with his relationship with me.
And how old is he now?
He's 8 now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Wow, he's 8. He looks really good he looks very youthful and energetic for his 8 years of age.
Yeah. Well,
So
he's kind of got swagger. He's kind of like yeah. Oh, 1 second. My cleaning lady showed up in the house.
we just have like one more question, and then
Sure.
I know you guys have
Okay.
got a lot of stuff going on. So
No problem.
yeah.
I'm just gonna text her because she's not allowed inside. This is connected to our house, so we're in the training barn, but
Okay.
she's not allowed in the house because she can't lose any cats.
Oh yeah, no, that wouldn't be good at all. Would be disastrous actually.
Right? We're like, if you lose Tonic, we'd be like, not cool.
And I'll be like, this is all my fault.
Yeah, you're still pretty bad.
Exactly. What advice would you give to aspiring animal trainers looking to work in the industry, especially particularly cats?
I would say that slowly is the fastest way to get to where you're going. So really start training your animal and enjoying that process, getting really good at that, and focusing on the craft. Then start with performing or getting involved in a sport in public and work your way up so that by the time your animal is ready for film, they have a really high level of training.
Hmm.
There are sometimes I could use a pet in a film if it just is it has to be held and it's like a nice, really confident little dog that doesn't like to be held, doesn't mind being held. But in most cases, I think the animals that are on film projects should be highly trained always, because then they understand what's happening. It's fun for them. Pets that when they're not taken places and asked to do things, it's not fun for them all of a sudden to have that happen. They don't understand. So I only use highly trained animals on a film set, and I recommend that.
Definitely. And can we see him today? Is it possible for him to come and do a little cameo on the
Okay,
camera before we leave?
come on.
This
You
is
call it.
the true star of the show.
Come on, hop.
Hi,
Come
Tonic.
on, hop, hop, hop. Oh, come on. Good boy.
Tonic, you are adorable. Hi, Tonic.
Birds just because I even talked to him because thinks
He is so cute. And what's his diet consist of? What do you feed him?
he gets chicken as treats. I'll carry on for 1 second.
That's so funny. Well,
Ah,
Melissa, I really can't thank you enough for your time today. I'm so glad I got to do an interview like this. I actually used to work for an animal talent agency called Hollywood Paws here in
oh,
LA. Like,
cool.
used to scout dogs over the summer, like many, many years ago. But
Oh,
I
fun.
love animals, so I was like, I want to do this interview with you to find out your background and process of training the animals, and then of course seeing this little sweet baby and Tonic. Even when the dogs were barking, then he seemed kind of unfazed, just curious. Tonic, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He is.
amazing.
Can you get that from her? She's being a turd. I've got one little dog that's a turd, and every time you turn around, she's doing something she shouldn't. No.
That's